Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about literature review, which is very important chapter, chapter 2, where many students they struggle, they don't know how to proceed with a good literature review. First of all, let me introduce, I have two doctors with me today, Dr. Jacqueline Tam and Dr. Ahmad Rasmi Al-Battat. Today we will discuss, these two doctors will be discussing about literature review. First of all, I would like to refer to Dr. Ahmad. He will be explaining the literature review as a whole, how the good literature review is written, and the types of literature review.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Firdaus, for the introduction. For the literature review, what is the literature review? Usually we started with the definition. Usually the literature review surveys scholarly source material that relevant to the person's research and thesis or the problem or particular issue or theory. It's provide the critical analysis that summarize and synthesize the source of materials while also demonstrating how the person research pertain to fit within the larger discipline of his study. The purpose of the literature review, as we know, it varies from discipline to discipline as well as across assignments. But generally, a good literature review designed to help you to answer two questions. What do we know about our particular issue, theory, or subject, and what we don't know about this particular issue or theory or subject. A good literature review also evaluates the context of scholarly material for its contribution to the understanding of the research thesis being studied. Also, it explains the relationship between each of the works under deliberation. The literature review identify the gaps between in the previous research, and also define a new ways to interpret the research within the discipline. A good literature review address the conflict found in the research previously conducted and identify the need for the additional research. For the type of the literature review, we have 5 types of the literature review. We have the argumentative review. This form examines the literature selectively in order to support or to refute an argument, deeply embedded assumption, or philosophical problem already established in the literature. The purpose to develop a body of literature that establish a concrete point of view. We have also the other type of literature review, integrative review, considered a form of research that reviews, critique, and synthesize representative literature on a topic, and in integrated way that such new frameworks on the topic are generated. The third part, we have the historical review. Few things rest in the isolation from the historical review, which focus on the examining research throughout a period of time, and often started with the first time as an issue, concept, or their theory. Phenomena emerge in the literature, then tracing it evolution within the scholarship or the discipline. We have also the type of methodological review. While review does not always focus on what someone said or how they said the method of the analysis or the content of the analysis, this approach usually provides a framework for understanding at different levels, those of theories, the fields, the research approach, or data collection or analysis technique. This method enables the researcher to draw a wide variety of knowledge, ranging from the conceptual level of practical documents for use in framework or their field of study, and also to either quantitative or qualitative offshore, to try to understand their sampling, their interviewing, their data collection or data analysis, and also to highlight many ethical issues which we should be aware and consider when we are going throughout our study. The fifth type of literature review is systematic review. This form consists of an overview of the existing evidence pertaining the clearly formulated research question. It is a standardized method to identify critically appraised relevant research and also to collect, report, and analyze data from the studies to include in the review. Typically, it's focused on the very specific empirical question, often poses the cause and effect form, and to what extent does A contributed to B.
Okay, after this clear explanation from Dr. Ahmad, now we'd like to refer to Dr. Jacqueline. She will be explaining about empirical review and theoretical review.
Thank you, Dr. Firdaus. Now let's look at empirical and theoretical review. Okay, in literature there are two main sections, which is the theoretical review and empirical review, and either one can be written first. Okay, now let's look at empirical review. Detailed definition and elaboration of the variables in the study supported by previous researchers, which can be obtained from different countries. Defining and elaborating variables as well as establishing the relationship between and among the variables, and after which these relationships will be summarized into empirical review table. Now let's look at theoretical review. The purpose of theoretical review is actually to concretely examine the corpus of theory that has accumulated in regard to an issue, concept, theory, or phenomena. The theoretical literature review helps us to establish what theories already exist, the relationships between them, to what degree the existing theories have been investigated, and to develop new hypotheses to be tested. Often, theoretical review is used to help to establish a lack of appropriate theories or reveal that current theories are inadequate for explaining new or emerging research problems. The unit of analysis can focus on a theoretical concept or a whole theory of framework. Alright, that is the brief idea about literature review. There is no rule saying that which part you should be explaining first, either the theoretical part or the empirical part, but most importantly is that all the aspects have been written and explained in detail. Thank you.
So that's all about it. We have discussed in detail about literature review. Hopefully this video will be very useful for us, especially those who are trying to understand the literature review chapter. And hopefully this video will be a good platform for the beginners. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.